الحمد لله الواحد المنعم والصلاة والسلام على محمد سيد الأنام وعلى آله الكرام وصحبه العظام وسلم تسليما كثيرا ما دام يجري هذا النظام. وبعد، قال تبارك وتعالى: ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: لا عدوى ولا طيرة، ويعجبني الفأل الصالح الكلمة الحسنة، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Respected brothers, elders, brothers, sisters, and dear youngsters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, sustainer, and cherisher, and we send the choicest blessings upon the final messenger, Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, peace and blessings upon him. A person's worldview or perception or a person's belief in certain matters dictate and many times impact or affect the way they behave and interact. So if a person has this perception, this notion, this idea that there's harm in that direction, then this person will take all the precautionary measures necessary to avoid that route, to avoid that direction. So the way we perceive things, our beliefs, our worldview, our understanding of things around us, they impact and they have an effect on the way we act and the way we behave. And in many cases it shapes our behavior and it dictates how we move forward and how we look at things. Today I'd like to talk a little about superstitions and these type of perceptions. And the reason being is, one is today is Friday the 13th, and another thing is we are also passing through the month of Safar. Now, we know that there is a general understanding that Friday the 13th is a day of bad luck. In fact, I came across an article on the CBC, and they're pointing out in this article, according to an organization known as the Stress Management Center and the Phobia Institute in the United States, every time the calendar falls on the 13th and it's a Friday, the US loses more than $900 million. And the reason for this is that people are not ready to do business on this day. They don't choose to fly on Friday the 13th. They, in many cases, according to this report, many people simply stay home. They don't get out of their homes. Having this notion or this idea that Friday the 13th brings bad luck. Now this is not something that is ancient. According to the report, this is something that is very common in the Western culture. Now I mentioned the month of Safar. We are passing the month of Safar. And Safar, according to some linguistics, comes from the word sifr, which means void, which means zero, nil. So there is a general perception, even at the time of ignorance, that in the month of Safar there should be no important task that should be undertaken. So if there is a marriage to be undertaken, it would not take place in the month of Safar. If someone was contemplating a business venture, they would not move forward with that business venture because of the month of Safar. So the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, came and declared through Islam, La Safara. There is no concept of bad luck in the month of Safar. So in present day, in modern day, we also have these notions. We notice that in many buildings you don't have the 13th floor. It comes from the same type of notion that there's bad luck in the number 13. So this is a reality, and this is something that took place in the past and it continues to take place in modern day. Now when a person has a perception and a notion, or they believe in a superstition, they believe in this form of superstition, there are many harms. I just want to point out 3 specific harms. Number 1 is that these superstitions begin regulating our lives, our social lives, our economic lives, and our political lives. So we see that in many universities they don't give exams on the 13th or on the Friday the 13th because they feel that there's going to be bad luck. So it's regulating our lives. And I just gave you the stats about $900 million lost in the United States because of Friday the 13th. So these notions and superstitions, they may seem petty, they may seem less important, but the reality is they are dictating people's lives. They are regulating the social, the political, and the economic activities that go on around us. Number two is that when a person has belief in superstition and these type of notions, then they have a sense of fear in places where there is no fear. In reality, there is no fear, but a person begins to fear. It builds up enmity. It builds up a sense of withdrawal. So, as one of the superstition points out, one of the most common in North America, that you shouldn't walk under a ladder, or you shouldn't open an umbrella inside. So, we have a sense of fear. People attach a sense of fear with these kind of things. And number three is that we don't think rationally when we believe in a superstition. We don't think logically. We don't think according to our reason and the aql that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the logical reasoning that the Creator has blessed us with. So when we believe in these type of notions and superstitions, we are harming ourselves and we are allowing these things to regulate our lives. We are building a sense of suspicion and fear, and we also don't think rationally. And Islam came as to liberate us. Islam came to give us freedom from these type of notions and these type of superstitions. And this is why we see when the companions, the Sahaba radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, when they were asked that why have you accepted Islam and why have you entered into this new religion? So one of the statements that was said by one of the companions is that we are shifting ourselves min jawr al-adyan ila adl al-Islam. We're shifting our ideas, our notions and our beliefs from inappropriate understandings and concepts towards the balance and the justice of Islam. So Islam liberated us from the ideas and the beliefs that we had, and it made our lives better. It made them positive. It made us believe in the one Creator, and we believe He is the only entity that brings good or that brings harm upon us. It is not a black cat crossing our path, nor is it as breaking a mirror that would give us bad luck or a negative situation or condition in our lives. So the Islamic concept is that we believe that we understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the being that gives harm and goodness. I quoted a verse right in commencement where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا أَصَابَ مِن مُصِيبَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مِّن قَبْلِ أَن نَّبْرَأَهَا. Any misfortune that comes to you, مَا أَصَابَ مِن مُصِيبَةٍ, any misfortune that comes to you, whether it be on this earth in a general sense or in your personal lives, فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ, it's already decreed and decided, recorded by the Creator, فِي كِتَابٍ مِّن قَبْلِ أَن نَّبْرَأَهَا, even before it comes into manifestation. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control. And this is what we need to understand. If we want to get away from these perceptions, these notions, then we need to have firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a fundamental principle of our aqeedah and our deen, that we believe that it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is the one that protects. It's Allah is the one who guides. Allah is the one who blesses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the being that does everything. At one occasion, in a narration of Sahih Bukhari, it is mentioned that the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, was addressing the companions. And he was advising them. All of a sudden, he changed the topic and he began talking about the Day of Judgment. And he said, عُرِضَتْ عَلَيَّ الْأُمَمْ. All the nations were presented before me. The commentators explain this may have been possible at the occasion when he went in Mi'raj, or it was probably a vision that was shown to him. Nevertheless, the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, he said, all the nations were presented in front of me. And I saw النبي معه الرجل أو الرجلان. I saw a prophet and his ummah, his community was simply one person or two people. أو الرهيط. I saw another community, another prophet, and there was only a few people, a tribe. There was a few members. All of a sudden, as this is being shown to me, فَإِذَا سَوَادٌ عَظِيمٌ, I see a large population of people, a large group of people. فَظَنَنْتُ أَنَّهَا أُمَّتِي, I perceived that this is my ummah, this is my nation, this is my community. فَقِيلْ, it was told to me that this is قوم Musa. This is the nation, this is the community of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. بَلْ انظُرْ إِلَى الْأُفُقِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared to the Prophet that look in the horizon. فَإِذَا سَوَادٌ عَظِيمٌ, and I saw a large population of people. وَانظُرْ إِلَى الْأُفُقِ الْآخَرِ, look at the other side of the horizon. The Prophet looks at the other side of the horizon and he sees a large population of people. And the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, is told that this is your nation, this is your community. You will have the largest community. أَرَضِيتَ, are you pleased with this? And the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said yes. And Allah continues in this narration that is found in Bukhari, it's mentioned that Allah continued communicating. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, from amongst this vast community of yours, this ummah of yours, there will be 70,000. There will be 70,000 people. يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ وَلَا عَذَابٍ. They will enter paradise without any form of an account and without any form of a punishment. And the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, after he mentioned this, the narrators point out, the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, quickly got up, nahaba. He quickly got up and he entered his home. In the meantime, the companions, they began discussing. فَخَضَ النَّاسِ, the community, the people that were present, they started saying, لَعَلَّهُمْ وُلِدُوا فِي الْإِسْلَامِ, maybe these people that will enter paradise are those who are born in Islam. لَعَلَّهُمْ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ, maybe they are the prophets. لَعَلَّهُمْ, it's possible they are those people. They were discussing, who are these people that 70,000 from the vast majority will enter paradise without any form of hisab, without any form of account or a punishment. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, returned and they were still discussing the matter. They were still talking about the issue. So the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, asked them, what's the issue? What are you talking about? And they responded, we want to know, who are these 70,000 people? The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, then replied and said, هُمُ الَّذِينَ لَا يَسْتَرْقُونَ وَلَا يَرْقُونَ وَلَا يَتَطَيَّرُونَ. They are those people from my ummah who have firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do not believe in amulets. They do not believe in lucky charms. And nor do they believe in any form of superstitions. وَيَتَوَكَّلُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ, and they have firm reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the point I want to make. That when we believe in superstitions, we believe that something else has a power. Whereas our belief is Allah is the one that has the power. We rely upon Him. We put our full trust in Him. So when we focus onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then things become easy. You know, I read an interesting statement. It goes something like this: be a slave of what made man. Be a slave of what made man, not what man made. We are slaves to what man made. These notions, these superstitions are things of what people discuss and talk about. But the reality is we are to be slaves of the one and only, that is the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I read an article just this morning in the Toronto Star about in China. There were thousands of people who were in front of the cell phone store. The new iPhone was coming out there. And the population, the group of people that were there, they were so large, they could not control the masses. So they said, we're delaying the release of the iPhone 4S. And the people started, and they took eggs and they threw them at the police forces. So we've become slaves to what man created, what man invented. And this is our behavior on the earth. And we're no different. So what we need to do is we need to focus and believe unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have full trust in Him. These are things of the world. These are things of the temporary life here. We benefit from them. We use them appropriately. But our ultimate return is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we focus onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will see that this is one step that will help us take ourselves away from the inappropriate notions or belief in superstitions. Like one brother said, when we perform salah, the hadith says very clearly, every day you wake up in the morning, whoever performs fajr salah, فَهُوَ فِي ذِمَّةِ اللَّهِ. This person is in the direct insurance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A brother told me, I know when I'm not going to have a good day. I said, what do you mean? You can't tell the future. He told me that, you know what, I have a habit of reciting Surah Al-Yasin every morning after Fajr prayer. And the day I don't, I know that there's possibly something that will go wrong. And in most cases, that is what happens. So, we need to connect ourselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the mercy and the control, the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not in superstitions and these inappropriate notions. The other thing that we need to realize in relation to this topic is that time and space, and in some cases resources, time, space and resources, they are not what cause something to be good or bad. Time or space does not give us good luck or bad luck. Just because today is Friday the 13th, it doesn't mean that there's going to be bad luck. In fact, I read in the same article of CBC, there's a group of bikers here in Ontario. They go to a place and they get all the superstitious beliefs. They take mirrors and they break them. They say, we've been doing this for several years. We haven't experienced bad luck in our lives. We have a big ladder here and we all walk underneath it. We haven't experienced bad luck. So, we need to focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we need to realize that it's not time and space that brings bad luck or good luck. It's what we do with the time and what we do at that space that will either bring good from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or it'll bring the anger or the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have time. It may be Friday the 13th. But for believers, for you and I, today the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, says Friday, Sayyidul Ayyam. Friday is the leader of the days. It's the day where Allah expands His mercy. When we come for Salatul Jummah, when we perform the Friday prayer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purifies us until the next prayer from minor sins. So these are all virtues that the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, is speaking about regarding the Friday prayer. So we're using our time and the space that we are in, we are using it appropriately. So Allah has blessed us with willpower. Allah has given us resources. He's given us time and space. If we utilize these things appropriately, positively, then most definitely we will see khair. We will see good. And we will be blessed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if we engage inappropriately, if we do things that are wrong with time and space or resources, then most definitely we will see wrong. A parent was telling me, I can't say no to my children for an iPod or all these new gadgets because everyone has them. So what do I do? So our responsibility as parents is, if we give them these gadgets, teach them how to use them appropriately. You can do good with it, you can do bad with it. It's up to the individual. It's up to the person how they use these things. Either that will be a means of blessing for them, or it'll be a means of a curse for them. And this is why, regarding the Quran, the other day someone was talking to me about how there seems to be this understanding that hadith, the teachings and the statements of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, are not a source of guidance. Whereas the Quran clearly says, مَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, whoever obeys Allah and the Prophet, فَقَدْ فَازَ, they will be successful. They go hand in hand. مَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever surrenders to the teachings of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, they have in actuality also surrendered to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They go hand in hand. So he was mentioning about how people seem to make a differentiation, or they say we can reject all the narrations. Na'udhu billah, we can reject all the hadith of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him. The Quran is sufficient for us. The Quran is sufficient for us. This is what seems to be the understanding. But the reality is that they go hand in hand. So we have the verses of the Quran that explain this. يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. The same Quran, the same message that the Prophet brought, it guides so many. And the very same Quran, the very same teaching of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, it's a means of misguidance for so many. It's a means of turning away from the truth. So it depends on how we look at it and how we use it and how we take upon the teachings of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him. I want to conclude with a famous narration that is in Adab al-Mufrad and many other books of hadith. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, was negotiating at the occasion of Hudaybiyah. And they had all come to enter the vicinity of the Haram and make tawaf. And they were prohibited from entering by the Quraysh. And Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu had returned after some of the negotiations. They were concluding the negotiations, and Suhail radiallahu ta'ala anhu entered. He came upon. And Uthman ibn Affan, who was present, said, قَدْ دَخَلَ Suhail. Suhail radiallahu anhu has entered. And the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, when he heard this, he said, سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ أَمْرَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make your matters easy. He will make your matters easy. The point is that the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said, don't believe in inappropriate notions. He said, there's no such thing as superstitions. La tiyara. There's no such thing as superstitions. But there is a benefit in a good word, in a positive statement. So if you say something nice, and you take that as a positive, you take that as something encouraging, then yes, there can be benefit in that. And here's what the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, did. He said, Suhail has come. Suhail comes from the word sahl, which means to become easy, to succeed, to be comfortable. So the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said, we've made our negotiations, we've finalized the matter. We can't enter this year, but we're going to come back in the following year, inshaAllah, and there will be ease in this. Suhail radiallahu anhu just entered, Sahhalallahu amrakum, Allah has made your matter easy. So let us take things in their proper perspectives. Let us not believe in inappropriate notions, whether it be the Friday the 13th, or whether it be the month of Safar. Whatever the case may be, we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that is in power. We always focus upon Him, we rely upon Him after doing whatever is on our part. And most definitely, we always take every time, every space, and every resource that we have to fulfill Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's obligations in doing good and refraining from evil. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the reality of this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from misfortune, and may Allah allow us to be blessed with al-khair, al-goodness, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us success in this world and the everlasting life of the hereafter. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil